What's up? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you? This is, what day is it? It is Wednesday, November the 11th, 2020. Again, it is Wednesday, November the 11th, 2020. Yeah, I paused for a minute because I was trying to remember what day it was. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Carolyn. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Good morning, Pastor. Good morning, Dr. Kim Carter, I shall say. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all, yesterday was so much fun. I'm still on a high. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Good morning, everyone. All right, y'all, I'm going to jump right in here and get started with today's news. Before I do, I just want to give a shout out. Good morning, Deborah Johnson. I just want to give a shout out to all the veterans, to all the veterans that are out there. I just want to give a shout out and to recognize you today and to also say thank you. Thank you so much for your service and for everything that you have done for us. And I see more people coming in here. Good morning, Latrice. Good morning, Antoinette. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning, Davia. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning. If your name has already scrolled past, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Good morning, Jacqueline. Good morning. Good morning, Karen. Good morning to everyone. Let me say this also. I read each and every single one of your posts. Good morning, Yvonne, from yesterday. And I was literally in tears. At one point, good morning, Oscar. At one point, M, I'll use their initials now, M said to me, that's right, Fred Jones, that's right. Thank you, Latrice, for putting that up there. Let him know that we say thank you to him this morning. He probably listening in. I know he's listening on yours. So thank you, Fred Jones. Thank you for your service. Good morning to my brother, Liz Pryor. But M said to me yesterday, she says, she goes, you got to still keep responding. Because I was trying to respond to every last single person yesterday. Good morning, Kim Kills. And M said to me, you know, you started something that you'll never be able to get out of. And I said, I know. I said, I'm just reading these and I'm in tears. And I said, gosh, look at this family that has been growing through News in Motion. And so I was just sharing with her. And I said, I'm trying to do my best to hit each person. Since it was late in the day, I couldn't say good morning, but I was saying Joyful Tuesday. So good morning, Brenda Random. And so she said to me, she says, well, Gail, you actually say good morning when you come on and you call out as many names as you can. She said, so you may want to start looking at how you're going to do that differently going forward. She said, because you cannot respond to half of them and not to the rest. And I said, no, I kind of like backed myself in the corner. But I enjoy responding to all of you. So if I happen to miss your name as your name is scrolling, just understand that I am trying to give the content. So sometimes the names are going pretty fast, depending upon how many people come in at one time. And just know that I say good morning to everyone, and I will try my best to hit each of you as I'm going through. I will try my best. The other thing I just want to share, and I know I pump them up a lot because they really are helpful. This team, and I don't want to say my team, this team, and they're the ones who wanted to come around me after they knew what it was that I was doing. And this team has just been with me. Good morning, Demia. We don't watch for our names. Thank you, Demia. This team has just been amazing. And yesterday we were just talking and looking at some things and what we could possibly do differently going forward. And it was just amazing. One of the members said, Mom, you rock, because they call me Mama Gail or whatever. They were like, Mom, you just rock. And I said, well, why do you say that I rock? And I won't give you the whole story, but as she began, good morning, Shirley, as she began to just share with me, I was just like, wow. And I want to say this to y'all before I jump in on the news. You never really know who's listening and who's watching you. You never really know that. You never really know how many words they're holding on to. You never really know that. You don't really know that. So just be mindful of that. Again, they want me to share the rules for the gift card. The Target $100 gift card, it will go until tomorrow at 7 p.m. and it's only on yesterday's live. So you can just go back to yesterday's live, watch it through, and then like and then share it and then comment. How has News in Motion impacted your morning? How has it impacted your morning? So if you would share that. Good morning, Sheila. Share, like, comment. And that's just on yesterday's Facebook Live. Instagram people have been coming over to Facebook. They say I cheat them because I'm only on there with them for about 7 to 10 minutes. I said, hey, you're just going to go to YouTube or come over here to Facebook. But I wanted to give you those rules again. And again, thank you for yesterday. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I use your Target link exclusively when shopping Target. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Rhonda House, Texas. Thank you, Demir, for that. All right, y'all, so let's get to the morning news. It's not over, but it's looking promising, y'all, so keep praying. The Affordable Care Act, and again, I'm reading a quote from the New York Times. The Affordable Care Act, if I slow down, I can get it out, aka Obamacare, is likely to survive. High court arguments indicate a more conservative U.S. Supreme Court appears unwilling to do what Republicans have long desired, kill off the Affordable Care Act. That includes the key protections for pre-existing health conditions, y'all. Remember, we were talking about 22 million people who would have possibly lost their health insurance and then with pre-existing conditions never receive health insurance again until something drastic change. So they're still listening to arguments, but it's looking promising. It's looking promising. All right, y'all, the General Services Administrator, that's the GSA. Y'all, that's Emily Murphy. We're going to have to pray for Emily Murphy. We're going to have to pray for her. She continues to refuse to recognize President-elect Biden as national security implications since the Department of Defense and the Department of Secretary of State cannot work with the transition team. She's holding up all kinds of things. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Mary. She's holding up all kinds of things. She's literally holding up all kinds of things. She's holding up the money. She's holding up the offices. She's holding up everything. Now, what is interesting, the more I dig into this is the current occupant's appointee, which raised a question for me when I was just going through looking at everything, and I'm no expert, but I said, well, then some of these positions who are appointed by the president, they either need an accountability partner or these positions need to turn to nonpartisan positions. Something needs to change there. Because if he is appointing people, and good morning, Kimberly Gail, if he's appointing people, or when President-elect Joe Biden appoints people, if they are loyalists, as they say, they are not the best person for the position. So what type of security measure or standard or policy needs to be implemented so that these things won't happen? Again, I'm no expert, but I'm outside looking and saying there has to be an accountability. There has to be a checks and balance here. And some of you may not like this, and you know I've said this on here before. With the 3 branches of government, I don't believe they should all be the same, under the same, like if it's all Republicans or all Democrats. That's not a check and balance to me. It really isn't. I'm just being honest with y'all. There's an organization called No Labels, and you can find it at No Labels. It's either nolabels.com or nolabels.org. It's one of those. And it really talks about all these different, let's see, what is it? Conflict of interest, if you will. So check that out. And again, I don't know if it's .com or .org, but it's the organization is called No Labels. And it's saying, okay, let's look at the laws. Let's look at the needs of my constituents. Let's look and see what's really happening before we just say yay or nay. And I think that will help balance out the United States of America if we would have that type of checks and balance. So right now we have Emily Murphy who's saying, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything whatsoever at all. And that's bad business practice. That's bad government. That's just bad. Because, and here's the other thing I keep thinking about. None of this is in my notes, y'all. But here's the other thing I keep thinking about. These people who are showing themselves, what job you going to get next? Where are you headed? Because people are going to remember the things that you've done. So they're out of balance there. So that's what's happening with her. The rumor is that Michael Bloomberg, I wish I had his money. The word is he's going to come out and loan them, the Biden campaign, some money so they can continue to do. Guess right, poor character. All right, y'all, AP is reporting the 2020 general election was one of the smoothest and well-run elections that we have ever seen. And that is remarkable considering all the challenges. And this was a Democrat appointee by the current occupant who made this statement to serve on the Election Assistant Commission. Many of us got familiar with them when we were signing up to become poll workers. So many of us got real familiar with the EAC.gov. That's the Elections Assistance Commission.gov. Many of us got familiar with them. And he said he worked closely with the administration and told them all along, there's no fraud happening. That's not happening. And they continue to move forward. Now, election expert says that a large increase in advanced voting takes pressure off of election day operation. So they said all the early voting helped with that to make everything go smoothly, even though the lines were long. So when he says stuff like more people voted this year than they did in 2016, again, as I said the other day, I'm not a mathematician. I hated math, to be honest with you. I hated it. But come on. For every person who turned 18 between 2016 and 2020, those are new voters. And that's just a small percentage. For everyone who is eligible to vote in America, if they decided this year they were voting, that changed the numbers. So there's not going to be the same numbers who voted in 2016 to vote in 2018. You could have had 2020. You could have had less in 2020, depending upon where people stood and what they wanted to do. So if somebody can please help him understand, I would greatly appreciate it. I really would. Nonpartisan investigations of previous elections have found that voter fraud is exceedingly rare. Every study shows this is really rare. How many people voted this year? More than 150 million people voted in the presidential election this year. So I'm just saying that. All right, y'all. Axios reporting. Now get this, y'all. I want y'all to hear this. I'm going to have to get my mimosa. It's going to be mimosa every day this week. Now, here's what's interesting. He's saying that he didn't lose. So why did he announce yesterday on Twitter that he's running for 2024? Help me understand. Somebody make this make sense. So now he's touting a run for 2024. First of all, please just don't do that. We go on, do what you need to do. Go on out the country, do whatever you want to do. But we don't need you to say you're going to run. But people are saying he's doing that so that he can continue to fundraise and that he can continue to rattle his base. There's something wrong with this. There's something wrong with this. So I want to share that with you all. And y'all, do y'all know there's a possible takeover of the RNC? Yeah, Don Jr. and his girlfriend is currently the chair. They're talking about taking over the RNC. I'm like, what is happening? Good morning, Philip. I'm like, what is happening right now? They're talking about, yeah, he's broke. You're right, Kimberly. He is broke. Good morning, Gwendolyn. He is broke. So they said that's why he's doing this. And I'm thinking, wow, he actually is setting up rallies. He's actually setting up rallies for a 2024 run with Don Jr. and his girlfriend who's talking about taking over the RNC. Y'all, we got a problem. We really do have a problem. So listen. Now, many people are saying there are a variety of responses to the news that the current occupant is looking for a run again in 2024. Please don't. Just please don't. Some said that he would only float the idea of running again to, of course, what I just said, continue the fundraising, while others saying he's running again just to complicate the potential crime charges that he may face once he leaves. So people have been working out what that looks like. If he resigns, which he could do that, and then Mike Pence pardons him, which he could do that. But that doesn't mean that he can run away from the locals, such as New York. New York, the state of New York is waiting for him. They're waiting for him. Good morning, Jeffrey. They're waiting for him. So y'all, it's writing time. It's writing time. Good morning, Kelly Lee. Good morning, Kim Miller. It's writing time. Y'all, a letter is better than a telephone call, but you can make a telephone call as well. And that could be an email, of course, an email, or you can really type out a letter and send it in, mail it in. What am I talking about? Y'all, we are the constituents of those we voted into office and those who are in office currently. It's time for us to write letters and say, stop all this. Because right now we are under a national security risk because they're not giving briefings to the president-elect and Madam Vice President-elect. They're not giving briefings to them. Right now, they should be knowing everything that's going on. And it's causing a conflict. It's causing a problem. I don't think we should panic, no, but we need to understand what is actually happening right now. And in doing so, we need to write. Can someone create a letter template that we can all send? Yeah, I actually have some, so I can do that. If people will inbox me your email, it's easier for me to send a Word document that way, or a Google Doc, or something that I can do so that everybody can get it. So thanks to Mia for that. But it's time for us, because here's the other thing that's happening, y'all, and I want y'all to understand this. We are paying for this shenanigans. We are paying for this clown show. We are paying for these attorneys. We are paying for this. We are paying it. And I don't want to pay for this. Have you ever gone into the store to purchase something that you didn't want to purchase, and they said, we're going to take your credit card number anyway to purchase? That's called theft, isn't it? Isn't that called identity theft? You have me paying for something that I didn't agree to pay for. And we're dragging this out that's not necessary. And now we're under a security risk. He's setting up shop. He fired the person who already resigned anyway. He was going to stay to the end, but he was just letting him know that he was resigned. So then he got fired on Twitter, by the way. So he fired that person. He put in a loyalist into that slot. A couple other people resigned yesterday from the Pentagon. He put in loyalists in there. So it's time for us to write a letter to say, okay, what's happening here? Because Congress, number one, they hold the power of the purse, so they need to tell Miss Emily to let those checks go. We're talking millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. The other thing is, okay, let's do these just checks and balance. Who's going to pull him in? First of all, he's been impeached over something totally different, so he can't be impeached on that particular thing again. But it's like, what's happening right now? And then let's talk about Mitch McConnell. Let's talk about Mitch McConnell just for a second here. And that's why Georgia is in play, and it's so important. In North Carolina, the incumbent won his seat, so the Democrat did not win his seat in North Carolina. Cummings, I believe, he did not win his seat. Tillis did. But we need to think about Georgia, because right now, Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell, they're supporting this shenanigans that we're paying for. And yet, and I have this in my notes, so I'll get there in a moment. And yet there are still millions that are about to lose their homes. They're about to they have no food. They're about to lose insurance if the Supreme Court goes that direction. They don't have any funds. That's what's happening. So you're going to continue to put funds in something that he clearly lost, but you're not going to put funds into people who are needing this assistance. Come on. See, these are the things that are on the ballots, people. This is what's on the ballots. This is what's on the ballots. So I just want to talk about that. That's where our taxpayer money is going. So here's my other part. I looked this up after I was following this because it was bothering me. Y'all, 30+ million families in the U.S. can barely afford food or rent. Many of them are losing their mortgages. Millions of Americans are struggling. That's the number. The 30+ million is the number of the U.S. households struggling to pay each month for basic amenities, food, rent, cell phone, and y'all, today cell phone is a need. Child care, if they're trying to find even a side job, they can't even do a side job. They can't do McDonald's. They can't do Kroger. They can't do a grocery store. They can't do those things because child care alone is going to cost them more than what they're getting in their paycheck. Health care. excuse me, this is according to a new study from the United Way Alice Project. And it also revealed that 16.1 million households are below the federal poverty line. And that's CNN Money who's reporting that. 16.1 million below the poverty line. Y'all, we have a problem. We have a problem. That's why the team and I know $500, y'all probably like, that ain't a lot of money. And it's not. But it's more that we were able to get some food to the local food bank, and we're still putting all of our names on there so we can send the cards so all of you are listed. Again, that's for everybody who was on there yesterday. So y'all process before you post. Y'all know there's a new social media platform, and I've heard 5 different ways the name of the platform is pronounced. So I'm going to just spell it. It's spelled Parler, and I'm not real sure how to say it, but that's how it's spelled. It's really a platform of like-minded people. It really is. They'll be back. They'll be back. Say, first of all, they want to see what we're doing anyway. And number 2, they're going to get tired of speaking the same language, and everybody's going to be like-minded. Number 3, they just want to fight. So they'll be back. Parlay. Thank you, Mike. It's French. Thank you. See, I'm glad you're on here. So parlay, because I've heard it 4 or 5 different ways. I'm like, and people keep saying parlor, and I'm like, I know that's not it, because it's not spelled P-A-R-L-O-R. So parlay. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for that. So it's a platform of like-minded people. So before you post, do your research, y'all. Check the sources. I say this to you all the time. We need to check the sources. If you see one source, I encourage you to wait until you see at least 2 others before you post. Check images, y'all. Check images. Make sure the images have not been altered. And you can tell. If and I'm going to give y'all some numbers. Y'all probably like, what? But if it's not 300 DPI resolution, more than likely it's been altered to some degree, or someone used a smaller resolution. Yeah, I'm talking my magazine talk, publishing talk, but seriously, if it's pixelated, you might want to check that out. Because today cell phones and things like that capture great pictures, great images. So there's a lot of fuzziness to it. If it's pixelated, if it's not 300 DPI or higher, something ain't right there. So you may just want to hold up, because the thing you don't want to do is put information out here that's going to later contradict who you are and your reputation and your integrity. But here's something else, and y'all seen me do this on mine. When I keep digging and more information comes out, I don't delete the previous post. I do not do that. Integrity and reputation is you add an update. You say update and you give the date, or correction, you give the date, or after seeing more information, you give the date, and you put that under there. You put an asterisk beside it and you put it up there. I can respect and appreciate that than someone deleting. You're sitting there going, I know they just said something opposite from that. So y'all, look at your sources. Axios is a great source. The Washington Post is a great source. New York Times, BBC, Politico, there's CNBC, CNET. There's so many amazing sources. Make sure you're not putting out satire. And you normally know if it's satire because there's some sort of comedy that goes along with it, and you cannot find it anywhere else. So you really need to check it out before you post it. You really do, because if we're going to keep getting people, if we're going to keep registering the people to vote, which we are, if we're going to continue to do voter education, which we will, we need to make sure we're putting out information that's correct. Yes, thank you, NPR. That's a great one, actually, NPR. So just, watch what it is that you're putting out there. Make sure you can validate it. All right, y'all, the coronavirus numbers in the U.S., I don't know what's happening in Ohio, but I'm going to tell y'all this. I was at Target yesterday. I went to go pick up something that I needed. I ordered it from my link, but I went to go pick it up. And it was packed. And then, toilet paper was gone except for maybe 5 or 6 packs. I got one of the last paper towel rolls. The shelving looked like it did back in March. I'm going, what is happening? But then if y'all saw the video yesterday, I gave y'all a surprise. I said, but let me show you this. Y'all, there was an entire 2 hours of Clorox wipes. I said, hello. But they only let you have one. And I saw that people were asking me, where did you see that at? It was the Graceland Target after off of High Street, the Graceland Target. Y'all, it was packed. Jamia, yep, you were on there. It was packed. I was like, it's like I turned the corner. I was like, hello. But then I saw that you only get one. Hey, and they had it stacked, and they still had boxes where they were still putting out Clorox wipes. So you might not get toilet paper, you can get some Clorox wipes. Coronavirus numbers in the U.S., 10,558,757 confirmed cases. Remember, I go to the World Health Organization. I bypass the CDC. Deaths, 245,794 deaths. They are waiting for an announcement today. I know I saw that. I think he's going to shut us down too, which I ain't even mad. Recovered 6,600,575. And for those of you wondering who we're talking about Ohio. The governor's making some big announcement today at 5:30. So we're all like, what's going to happen? So let's celebrate that recovery. With that being said, the U.S. has hit a record number of coronavirus hospitalizations and surpassed 1 million new confirmed cases in just the first 10 days of November. Y'all, seriously, it has surpassed 1 million new cases in just the first 10 days, of November. New York reporting COVID-19. COVID-19 hospitalization in the United States hit an all-time high of 61,964 new cases on hospitalization, on Tuesday, as the pandemic continued to shatter record after record. But I went and looked for some more numbers because I was like, okay, is this the highest? This is what I found. The number of people hospitalized with the coronavirus tallied by the COVID Tracking Project has more than doubled since September and now exceeds, y'all, the peak reached early in the pandemic. This is the number. These are the numbers I wanted to give you. Remember, I told you just a few moments ago of yesterday, of just Tuesday, November the 10th, 61,964. You might as well just say 62,000 if I just bump up the number, okay? Y'all, in April was 59,940. Yeah. This summer on July 23rd, it was 59,718 on July 23rd. The April number was April the 15th, 59,940. July 23rd, 59,718. Yesterday, 61,964. Let that sink in. For the win, y'all, for the win, President-elect Joe Biden. He ain't playing. It's like this Emily holding up the money's not even phasing him. He's not phased. He's like, okay. And then when a reporter yesterday said, well, President-elect, how are you going to handle Republicans who's not willing to work with you? In that beautiful smile he gave, he said, they will. And he said it twice. They will. I was like, go Joe Biden. All right, y'all, here's my inspirational message, and I will get off of here, I promise you. All right, my inspirational message for today, lay aside the weight. Lay aside the weight. So I have a few questions for you. What's holding you down or back? What shackles need to be released? What's good but no longer your assignment? Yeah. Each year, right around this time, I take time, what I call life look. I look back over my life for the past year, and I look and see what's working. I look and see what's not working. I look to see what's pulling me down. I look to see what's suffocating me. I look to see what's bringing me joy. I just look. I do a life look. I don't linger there. I do a look. Do a quick look to see, excuse me, what's working and what's not. What brought me joy but no longer is bringing me joy? What am I spending so much time on and I'm not seeing much progress from it? And I look and say, okay, but that was good, but that's no longer my assignment. For many of us, we hold on to an assignment far too long when God has given you assignment just for that temporarily purpose and for nothing else. And we need to look at it and say, okay, that was for then, but what's for today and what's for now? And we need to really just make the decision, let me just go ahead and let this go. So for example, I'm already looking at it, and I look at it right after like the 1st of November, and I look at it through like the end of November, just looking at things. And one thing that continues to come back to me, and then when I look at what I did last year, it was the same thing. And I said, okay, Jesus is really speaking to me. And that is, many of you know I'm a publisher, published a magazine, published books, over 100 books, published for other authors and so forth. But guess what? It's time for me to let that go. And I keep saying, God, is that true? Yeah, I need to let you. Now, what God said to me and showed me, you can consult with people, you can teach people, but that's too much detail, and it's taking too much of your time for you to publish manuscripts the way that you're doing it. It's time for you to let that go. There's plenty of people out here to do it. You no longer need it. You don't need the title. You don't need anything like that. Go ahead and let that go and move on to what I have for you. Because you holding on to this is stopping the open doors that I have for you over here. So my question for you is, what open door is out there for you, but because you refuse to let go of something that you think is giving you life and is giving you some income and is giving you this, that, and the other. And we all need income right now, but you don't know what's through that open door. You don't know what's through that open door. So I had to come to grips with that. I'm finalizing 3 books, and I'm working with 3 authors. One of the books, y'all, sometimes she's on here, sometimes she's not, is absolutely amazing. I'm not saying it because she's on here, but everyone needs to get Ashley Grant's book when it comes out. It's called The Fragrance of a Woman. I'm telling you, I've read that book several times, and it's at the editor, but I've read it myself. I just keep reading it because it's that powerful. It's that great. But guess what? My publishing days are over. So by the end of the year, I will no longer be a publisher. And guess what? That's okay. Why? Because publishing does not define me. And see, that's what I think many of us do. We hold on to something because it gives us a definition. It defines us to do something. But God is saying, that doesn't define you. I define you. And everything that I created was good, which means you're good. Which means what you're doing is good, because that's the assignment that I've given to you for this season. But guess what? That season is over. Many of us are blocking the open doors and the opportunities that are before us because we're holding on to stuff that God is like, that I didn't call you to that for you to stay there for 5 years. I called it to you for that season, because I needed you in that position for a season, which was actually a stepping stone to get you to where I was taking you. I can't even get you over here because you holding on to this thinking this is just that great. No, this was good, but over here is great. So let that go. Let that go. And I understand some of us hold on to things because of finances. Well, this is what's bringing me income. And God's like, that's just a little bit of income. But if you would let this go, I have a greater pocket of money for you over here. But here's the other part of it. Money doesn't even define us either. It doesn't define us. So y'all, we have to get beyond that. What do you love? What makes your heart sing? What are you passionate about? Do a life look. See what has been struggled. See where you've struggled. See where you were out of balance. See where you were questioning. See where you were doubting. And make a decision to do something different today. Y'all, we got to stop allowing people to put stuff on us. You know, people will say, why are you letting that go? Because it's time to let it go. And here's the other part. I don't owe you an explanation in the first place. I'm giving you a courtesy by telling you why. But here's the truth. I don't have to do that because I already said yes and amen to God, and I'm going to trust him in my walk. I know, y'all, sometimes it doesn't make sense whatsoever at all. But today is the day. It's a new beginning, and you have to make the determination what it is that you're going to do. Stop letting other people hold you back. Stop letting titles hold you back. Stop letting finances hold you back. Lack of or an abundance of. Just stop it. Lay aside the weight. Here's what I know. When we lay aside the weight, our shoulders go back. Our head goes up. We have a different smooth walk, powerful walk. Our voice change. Our eyes open. Our ears open. Our mouth open. We become more powerful. We become more intelligent. We become more defined. And people will look at us and say, I don't know what's going on with him or her, but the presence of the Lord is shining down upon them. And whatever it is they're doing, I want to follow. I want to listen to. I want to walk beside. I want to have a conversation with. Y'all, do a life look. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world. Do a life look. I've gone over my time today. I got to run over to IG. I know they waiting for me over there. So let me go, but you have a great day. Tomorrow, Mike Nicholson, if you're on here, trust me, you want to be on here again tomorrow. I see y'all like on Thursday when I give the top 20 of something. Tomorrow I'm giving y'all the top 20 pies. Yes, I am the top 20 pies. Some of them I never heard before, but I'm giving y'all the top 20 pies tomorrow. All right, y'all make it a great day. I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. And again, to all veterans, oh, we just say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I would tell you to sit back and relax, but just because of the nature of who you are, men and women alike, I know you're always serving people. So again, I say thank you. And those of you in Ohio, you better go shopping today because I got a feeling the governor said the election is over. I'm getting ready to govern my state again. I got a feeling at 5:30, we're going to hear something. We're going to hear something that we don't want to hear, but we know we need to hear it. I'm Gail Dudley. Peace out.